Steeler people, you still to this second don't know what the heck you even want to do. You're out of the playoff picture right now. You lost to Buffalo. You want Mike Tomlin fired. You have the most expensive defense, and it's garbage. Your offense is so outdated. Let's talk about it. I'm going to get right into this as a first reaction, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to see so many things about, and I did a lot of videos pertaining to as much as the Steelers and what they were supposed to do in the offseason and what they were supposed to do in pretty much in every single category whatsoever. So narrowing it down, let's just fire right into it. They lost to the Bills 26-7. Now, the thing is, I don't necessarily know how to combat this because it was thrown into the 4:30 mix, which was a good thing. Weather's not an issue for either team, but we also did not know which Buffalo Bill team was going to show up. This actually was a must-win game for the Steelers, but definitely Buffalo. Let's just throw Buffalo in here real quick before I jump into the rant about the Steelers once again. We didn't know which Buffalo team is going to show up because here's a Buffalo team that basically knows they were supposed to win this division by default, the AFC East, and now we now know New England's not too half bad, and they're in the 1-2 category chasing Denver, and one of those two is going to win the number one seed, and quite honestly, in the end of it all, New England is actually not half bad now that it's under Mike Vrabel, and Drake May's playing well, and even though they haven't really beaten anybody, they've beaten Buffalo, and they chased Atlanta all night, and they haven't really knocked anybody off. That was hardcore of a decent win, but the Patriots are the Patriots, and they are a lot better now than they were before. This is not the old evil empire when it was under Brady and Belichick. This is a whole brand new regime, and Mike Vrabel is mass responsible for this. Speaking to Buffalo now, we don't know what the identity is because they are so Josh Allen dependent that they lost focus on their defense. They didn't have a running game. Now their defense is about mid. You get one of the Bosa guys, and all in all, they needed a run game. They needed that offensive line fix. And then I look at the stats of what happened today. Josh Allen, 15-23 for only $123. He had a touchdown, did have a pick, and that's all he had because mostly Buffalo Buffalo can't win games unless Josh Allen has something to do with any touchdowns. Mostly 3, whether he throws them or runs them in. But James Cook, 32 rushes for $144. He didn't score. That hurts fantasy people. But he didn't score, but 144 yards on the ground against the most expensive defense in the league. Josh did have a couple runs, and he did score, so he did throw a touchdown and run a touchdown as well. But the thing is about Buffalo is they don't really have a number one wide receiver. They went and got Brandon Cooks off the waiver wire. He had 1 catch. But he threw to 8 different receivers today, and the most anybody got was 3, and it was Cook, Dawson Knox, and Ty Johnson. Everybody else, like Coleman and Shakur, they only had 1 catch. This game was a punch-in-the-mouth game. This was supposed to be a blue-collar type of a game. And Aaron Rodgers, let's just put it this way, before I get to Aaron Rodgers, but we didn't know what Buffalo was going to do. We didn't know if they were going to come in and lose like they lost at Miami, and they went and lost. Before that, they lost at Atlanta on Monday night. We didn't know which Buffalo team was going to show up. We did today. They're still a team you don't want to hold your breath on. But here's Aaron Rodgers. We jump into this, and a 10 of 21 for $117. There's so much I could vent, and I have people I work with that will just vent right back at me. There are 4 major things wrong with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now that they're 6-6, they're now on the outside in, had a shot because Baltimore lost on Thanksgiving. And I look at this, there are 4 major things that the Steelers have issues with. Number 1 is quarterback. You went with Aaron Rodgers. You have people talking like you're going to bring him back next year. Mason Rudolph did hold his own against Chicago. And now I have a lot of people on Bookface, and I am not disagreeing with them, saying you're already, as I look in the current playoff issue, you're on the outside looking in. You are 6-6. Baltimore's going to figure something out. Cleveland, actually, even though they lost today against the 49ers, and Shadur didn't play bad, but still, it was a loss. Cincinnati now has Joe Burrow back, and they just stomped on the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Is this a renaissance era that my friend Zach Huey might be switching back teams? But in the essence, Cincinnati still has a puncher's chance, an outside chance. They have to win out like they did last year and just fell short. There's too many issues for the Steelers. Number one is quarterback. There is not a big quarterback draft class next year. There was when it was the summertime. Everyone was talking about the summertime, about all these, about a draft this big of quarterbacks that could come out this year. Now that list has gone down to about this. And we don't know who's going to come back. We don't know who's going to leave. And we don't know who's even going to stay in school yet. So there's a lot of people that are saying, just give Will Howard the shot. I mean, Will Howard won a national championship, and he's an Ohio State Buckeye. But name me the last Ohio State Buckeye that's actually been a solid franchise quarterback for more than 5, 6, 7 years. I'll keep waiting. It wasn't J.T. Barrett, and it wasn't Colonel Jones either. And I've honestly, I don't know what to tell you on quarterback. Number two is your entire offense is completely so outdated. And you went and sold your soul to Arthur Smith, who went 3 for 7 and 10 seasons in Atlanta, wasted a lot of talented players, and you think a 3 tight end system and holding Jalen Warren to hopefully making him the big gigantic back. Well, he only had 35 yards. Gainwell was a good pickup, but even the other guy they got from Iowa has been a little bit hit and miss on and off. Your running game has been on and off. You spent $150 million on DK Metcalf, and you don't have a number 2 wide receiver. You went and got Martavis Scatlin, and he hardly even and I'm looking at the thing. He hardly even played. Darnell Washington 2 catches. Metcalf had 3. Gainwell had 2. Warren had 2. Who else are you throwing to? Austin didn't have a catch, and Roman Wilson didn't have a catch. Your offense is so badly outdated. So there's number 2. I could bark about your offensive line. And I could just do that. You don't have a number 2 wide receiver, and your offensive line is still below average, and that's probably number 3. And number 4, most importantly, is in fact you have the most expensive defense in the entire league, and you're ranked 28th in PFF. 28th. I don't know what to tell you on that. There are sports critics that said you should have probably traded T.J. Watt for a boatload of draft picks. You can still do that unless you want to trade Highsmith or one of your wide. I mean, Ramsey was not a big factor. I don't know how your defense has survived this much, but you are in shambles. And I'm also hearing the fact that there's a lot of people in Pittsburgh at Acrisure yelling, "Fire Tomlin." I don't know who else you're going to get, but Tomlin, you could have a lot of sayings and talks at your workplace of who do you even want to who are you going to get? We won't know anything until the beginning of January. So at 6-6 right now, the Steelers have in absolute bus tire fire, whatever you want to call it. Because you're now, as I look at the playoff system, as I speak of this video that I'm doing right now, it is 8:39 on Sunday night. New England is number 1. Buffalo would get the 7th seed right now and have to go to Denver. Indy would have to go to Jacksonville. And yes, Jacksonville's in the playoff talk. The Chargers would have to go to Baltimore. But we still have a lot left to go. And I'm laughing at this. Chicago right now is at this second, is the number 1 seed in the NFC. Detroit is out as of this second. For the Steelers, I don't know what to tell you on this. I've vented about all this stuff all this time. Numerous videos on my past, especially first reactions that I'm doing now. I don't know if a head coach is enough. Omar Khan has signed an extension, so I don't know what to tell you on that. But it may be, I don't know what to tell you this because I'm going to shut the bar down and I'm just going to ask the Steelers people, is it Will Howard time? Don't worry about your coach. The coach system will figure it itself out. If Tomlin is gone, Tomlin is gone. But for the final 5 games of the regular season, do you want to throw Will Howard in? Because I don't know who in the draft class coming up is even good enough to even take this offense or even want to come to Pittsburgh. If you have a thought, throw a comment in. Is it Will Howard time? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Steelers, we thought the Penguins were going to be in a rebuild. The Pirates have been in a rebuild since Nutting took over. The Steelers, this downward spiral, I made a video on this a long time ago, and it's never getting old. The downward spiral is coming. Do what you have to do, or you will be at the bottom of the barrel come draft time, and you host the draft.